Go.
Hi, this is Victor Milbourne. So going to some of my rental properties today, on some rental properties that I'm working on for some other people, and going over what is feasible, and how to renovate the rental property so that it's able to be accessed by the disabled, by handicapped people, by people with access to wheelchairs, and the different changes. This is a typical, what I'm standing right here is a typical two-family home, Philadelphia home. Usually it's usually 2 or 3 stories high. So this actually zoned as a triplex, but it's only as a duplex. So as you can see, it's just got a regular concrete stairway instead of having a ramp, and it would cost me probably anywhere from 5 to 10 grand to put a ramp in place so that a handicap, so it would be handicap accessible, and I'll show you why. You know, obviously it would be difficult to get up the steps, and then you have another hump to get over before you get to the vestibule area. And then once you get to the vestibule area, then there are two different doors. So this is the upstairs level, which is one unit, and then the downstairs level, which is a whole nother unit. So the upstairs level goes all the way up the steps, and then there's like 2 levels, so bi-level apartment. So this one's occupied, so we won't go in this one. But you get your basic idea. When you have a certain amount of square footage, obviously a wider door to get a wheelchair through there. And I'll take you to another place and show you where it's actually a whole nother market for handicap and Section 8 and state available and disability ready housing. So I'll take you over to that house and show you some differences between there and what we have here. Come on, come closer. So here I'm Victor Milbourne. I'm back and now we're at another home, and this is a new market which we have is that's basically the market for residential housing for disabled individuals. So as you see the difference between the row house that we just left and the outside of this particular development, where you have a ramp, a very wide ramp for access, and also an extra wide front door. You get the side of the front door, please. So extra wide security door and an extra wide front ramp and a reinforced concrete ramp, and enough room to turn around in the wheelchair in the actual unit. And other differences, the doorknob, they don't use doorknobs anymore. They use basically handles, so that, you know, even whatever kind of device you have, you know, for your hand for gripping, then you can still open the door and get out of it for fire safety. Hello, so here we are at a commercial building. Okay, and this is typical. Actually, let me see if I can step back some. This is actually 3 storefronts with 3 apartments on top. And I like to go over the differences in each. So obviously, the apartments are on top, so the doors actually lead upstairs, and it's not going to be accessible. It's not going to be accessible handicap-wise. But all the doorknobs have been changed, and these are the new. This is a new fire code that all the doorknobs had to be changed, so a kid or okay, well, here's a handicapped bathroom. As you can see, there's an extra wide door, so someone with a wheelchair disability can get into, and it's an extra wide bathroom. So you get to see the difference, so that someone in a wheelchair can rotate 360 degrees all the way around the room in the chair. The sink is reinforced so that you can actually lift yourself out of the chair onto the sink. Around the toilets are bars so that you can lift yourself up and maneuver around the toilet. And the toilet is extra long and wide. And there's also a flashing annunciator panel, so that if there's a fire here, then you're warned by sight and sound. Okay, and this is just your typical commercial store. So as you can see crossing the street, you come to this commercial section and see that there's an indentation here in the sidewalk. It's not clearly marked, probably should be clearly marked, but you can see the indentations in the sidewalk so you can get here to this commercial area. And that's where you can access the rest of the commercial buildings. So this place used to be an electrical supply house. And this is going to be another daycare that we're working on now. So once again, you see the fire alarm panel. And this is going to be earmarked for daycare. But this time you see that we do have a ramp. See if you can see it. We do have a ramp for a handicapped accessible unit. So although the floor doesn't look like it's in that great shape, I mean the ramp is here. So it can be accessed. To be accessed by people with disabilities or wheelchairs or elderly. And also in this commercial unit we have, of course, the fire alarm system, zone fire alarm system with the flashing, so that you're notified by sight and sound. This is just a plain office space back here in the back. So there's a huge lip here. So you see that's not accessible. So we'll end up building another handicap bathroom in this space. And you can tell, once again, that all the doorknobs have been changed to new fire code doorknobs, so that kids or anyone can get a hold of that door. Whether it's with your foot or your hand or whatever you have to grasp with, you can grasp and get a hold of the door so you can get out in the fire situation. Okay, so in closing, I'd like to go over what we went over in this physical aspect of this tape. So what I went over was the differences between like a regular residential and commercial property, and the differences that are made to accommodate people with disabilities. For example, the wide door, the ramp on the steps, and the other different the handicap bathroom, the extra wide toilet, the reinforcement of the sink so someone with a wheelchair can pull themselves up, and the reinforcing bars around the toilet so someone may balance themselves to move from one piece of equipment to another to use the urinal, and also the way that the lights for the handicap bathroom were lower than regular lights, so that someone in a wheelchair can access them. So this is Milbourne. This has been my week 7 project. Actually showing the physical changes of these properties to match what we've read in the book. So thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it.